So why the Tour Divide? Why take on something this big at this point in my life? I guess the answer starts long before gravel roads or mountain passes. I've been an athlete most of my life. Baseball, soccer, running. I didn't know it at the time, but what I was really learning was discipline. How to show up. How to keep moving forward when things got uncomfortable. And that foundation stayed with me. Running became my first real test of endurance. I ran marathons and learned what it meant to suffer well. Not suffering for its own sake, but the kind that teaches patience, focus, and resilience. I started to understand that long efforts reveal who you really are. Eventually, that curiosity led me to Ironman. And to be honest, Ironman wasn't balanced at all. You learn to be selfish because you can't miss a workout, not ever. Your life starts to orbit 1 or 2 days on the calendar, and everything else quietly moves to second place. That's the hard truth. But Ironman also taught me something that stuck. It taught me how to suffer over long distances, how to manage bad patches, the pain, the doubt, the moments when everything feels heavy. And just as important, how not to get carried away by the good waves, because you know the bad ones are coming again soon. Ironman hardened my mind, and that lesson stayed with me. After Ironman, cycling took over. There was freedom in it. Long days, big climbs, hours alone with your thoughts. I wanted rides that asked more of me, not just physically, but mentally. And Europe is where cycling came alive for me. La Marmotte taught me humility in the mountains, climbing 4 legendary Tour de France passes in a single day. Paris-Roubaix taught me respect for the road, endless cobbles, some laid centuries ago. The hardest day I've ever had on a bike. And the Tour of Flanders showed me beauty and brutality in equal measure. Farm roads pitching upward at 20% or more. Those rides didn't make me faster, they made me tougher. In February of 2020, I rode from St. Augustine to Key West. At the time, it felt like just another long ride. 9 days, one direction, no rush. I had no idea how much was about to change. Not long after that ride, the world shut down. Races disappeared, schedules vanished, everything went quiet. And in that silence, my focus shifted. I stopped looking for finish lines and started looking for journeys. Long ones. That shift eventually led me to ride across America, from San Diego back to St. Augustine. Day after day, 1 mile at a time. Some days were lonely. Some were joyful. Some were just hard. And every day was filled with surprises. That ride across America taught me a lot. It also taught me that sometimes the smartest decision is knowing when not to push. Somewhere around El Paso, I made the call to take the train across West Texas to Austin. At the time, it felt like the right move. I was towing an 80-pound trailer, my speed was way down, and out there, the distances are real. Long stretches of desert with no services at all. Add heat, wind, and the margin for error gets thin real fast. So I took the safe option. It wasn't heroic, but it was honest. And looking back, it taught me something important. I learned where my preparation fell short. and I learned exactly what I need to do differently next time. That lesson stayed with me. By the time I rolled back into St. Augustine, I knew something had changed. I wasn't chasing distance anymore. I was paying attention to why certain rides mattered more than others. Over time, I started to notice a pattern. The rides that stayed with me were the ones where the outcome wasn't guaranteed. The ones where, if I'm being honest, I had about a 50-50 shot of finishing. That's where the name 50-50 ride comes from. Not because I like gambling, but because those rides are the rides that ask the most of you. The ones that require respect, preparation, and a willingness to accept whatever the day gives you. And when I look at it through that lens, the Tour Divide fits perfectly. It's long, it's remote, it's unpredictable, and there's no hiding from the fact that you might not make it. But that's the point. Because when the odds aren't stacked in your favor, every mile matters. Every decision counts. And finishing actually means something. The Tour Divide isn't just the next challenge. It's a true 50-50 ride. And this is where the next journey begins.